week. This week promises to be one that all our dreams and our desires are set to be fulfilled, and we say amen to that. Inshallah, to all our prayers, and I sincerely pray that all what caused us tears in our secret places will actually be answered, and we'll have answers to all of them this new week. Why am I being like a pastor today? Well, anyways, I've stopped to be in your faces, and I'm saying welcome again to Gospel Life News. To all our fans, we love you guys so much. We say a very, very big thank you. Thank you to what you guys do. We appreciate it. This is us saying we will never take it for, as a promise, we will never take it for granted. Thank you so much. At the same time, from last week, if you guys have observed, we've made major updates for you guys, so you can now stream us live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as we do this. So it's a live update, and you can now stream us from whatever channel that is most comfortable to you. Once again, my name is Daki. Welcome again to another exciting moment of Gospel Life News. It is raining back and forth. Burna Boy, WIZKID, DAVIDO all made the news, and then Mohbad also made the cut. Let's begin today news with the one I call the Clash of the Titan. Over the weekend, we saw Tyson Fury facing Francis in a boxing bout where there were a lot of, I think for Nigerians, right, there were a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people wanted Francis to win. Francis is not Nigerian. First, Francis is a Cameroonian, like he's a Cameroon guy who is good at what he does. We have Israel from Nigeria. We have Anthony Joshua from Nigeria. We have a lot of them from Nigeria, but then Francis is not in Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians feel we are black in Nigeria. No, that's not true. As a Cameroonian who actually engaged Tyson Fury in a boxing fight. And at the same time, Francis is not a professional boxer, as it were. He's a UFC fighter, but then we saw where he had to exchange, try something different, and then engaging Tyson Fury in a bout. And for just so you know, Francis had a very, very powerful punch, and it was exciting to see these two guys going head-to-head against each other. Of course, Tyson Fury came out as the night. They know it was this, no, it was that. Was it rigged? I'm not, but obviously, I'm sure those guys in their field will come and explain to us. But amazingly, Francis got the better part of the night because people came out to say, "You are our winner." The likes of Cristiano Ronaldo came out, Eminem came out, Kanye West came out. The biggest of biggest stars all came out to support their interest, whether it's Tyson Fury or it's Francis Ngannou. And just moving on from that one, we have Burna Boy as the next guy on the news. Actively, we're beginning with Burna Boy. We saw producer I Am Ola Gold as represented with his UK #1 album plaque for his work on Burna Boy I Told Them album. Just so you know, he also co-produced Giza with Sheyi Vibes on it. At the same time, we saw City Boy spent his 7th week on the Ireland official singles chart, and they currently sit at number 52. Moving on, we saw Burna Boy Cheat on Me with Dave is spending his 9th week on the UK official single chart, and that song sits on number 72. Moving on, we saw Burna Boy I Told Them I've spent 9 weeks on the African album in the UK official album chart, which surpassed Asake Work of Art, which spent 8 weeks. Asake Work of Art spent 8 weeks. Burna Boy for this week, I've spent 9th week, and it has surpassed Asake 8th week in the UK album ranking. Moving on, we saw the fight between Tyson Fury and Ngannou actually took place over the weekend. And we saw Becky G coming out to perform a song with Burna Boy called Rotate, and that was an amazing one to see. She actually opened the night and for the opening ceremony, and just when that song was performed, we saw the song having a serious numbers, which was skyrocketing just after that performance. Just so you know, on Spotify, Becky G and Burna Boy Rotate have just surpassed 28 million streams on Spotify. And at the same time, just in the midst of all of that, we saw Francis himself working out one of his training sessions with Burna Boy's song Last. So obviously, Burna Boy is actually gaining it big on the sport platform. It was at the final of the UEFA Champions League, and this time on one of the biggest boxing nights, his songs were being performed and all of that. It just shows that Afrobeats is global, not just getting global, but then it's currently being global as we speak. Rotate re-enters and reaches a new peak on Shazam charts in 18 countries. Obviously, after such performance, the song will have to come back and get good numbers. For the UK, #1, Ireland #5, Cameroon 14, Canada 34, France 35, Saudi Arabia 36, worldwide 36, Belgium 49, New Zealand 73, Switzerland 74, Norway 77, Croatia 92, Sweden 95, Denmark 109, Netherlands 113, UAE 120, and Finland 150. Moving on, we saw Shizzi Vibes receiving his UK #1 album plaque for his contribution as a featured artist on Burna Boy I Told Them album. Moving on, we have DAVIDO as the next guy on the news. We saw over the weekend, Sensational, a Chris Brown song featuring Lil J and DAVIDO debut at 84 on the YouTube US Top Song chart with 1.15 million streams. At the same time, Sensational, Chris Brown song featuring Lil J and DAVIDO debut at 49 on the YouTube US Top Music Video with 880,000 views. Still on Sensational with DAVIDO and Lil J, he made a debut at number 2 on New Zealand Hot 40 singles charts. And at the same time, we saw over last week we saw Abu Salami coming out to drag DAVIDO back and forth. But towards Thursday and Friday, it looked like that matter died down a bit. But then for the weekend, Abu Salami came out again to say DAVIDO is not exactly as rich as people think he is. He is saying Burna Boy and Rema are richer than DAVIDO. He came out to explain that DAVIDO doesn't have 100 million cash to give, so which explains that Burna Boy and Rema are far richer than DAVIDO. He further explains that DAVIDO lives a very, very expensive lifestyle, getting a private jet and all of that. Fueling a jet is about $20,000 and all of that. So he explains that all of these reasons are why DAVIDO is not as rich as Rema and Burna Boy. Also to add that how many shows does DAVIDO does in a month as compared to Burna Boy? Does it make sense? I'll let you guys do the conversation in the comment section. Moving on, we saw Dammy Krane over the weekend coming out to create a diss track which he called OBO, like O like in depth, so he said OBO, and then that was a diss track to DAVIDO, and he came out to say DAVIDO pay me my money. Moving on, we saw where it became a big conversation, and he came out to say, see as you want to get yourself. Now, this is Dammy Krane. See as you want to get yourself. Now you go really get that issue. That is you. Is you is your song. You featured me, bro. It was released on your YouTube and digital platform. You chop all the money alone. Thank God everything is online. Receipts day. And then we saw where a very wise fan, came out to say, you know what? Shizzi, you produced the song. What do you have to say? Because obviously you're the producer. So who owned the song? Shizzi came out to say, Issue was never a David song. Me and Krane cooked up the song initially, then DAVIDO jumped on it afterwards. They shot a video and released it as a collabo. Whoever was in charge of the release then is the one that makes you question in regards to the song and not David. And then he went on to say, some idiots on this app are misinterpreting my tweets. You all need help. And then he concluded by saying, I reserve my comment on this matter. I didn't see one kobo from Issue, so I don't give using the effort. Moving on, we have Mohbad as the next guy. We saw Friday was a big day for Mohbad because 2 of his songs came out and they currently are doing well on the charts. We saw Money for Hand, and that's the popular one. We saw Permission to Enter Your Heart, an amazing jam. People love the song on TikTok. It's currently trending on TikTok, and that was a song with Donny Crown featuring Mohbad. At the same time, he also had the song with Zoro, an amazing jam at the time, which they call MAD. And it's that song that Zoro came out to say, when we drop this song, we are going to send all the interest of the song, the purpose of the song. We're going to send everything to Liam. We're not keeping a dime from this song. Moving on, we saw Mohbad's father coming out with an emotional song where he came out to cry, saying the world is making him cry, and talking about his son, saying they killed his son and they want to also take his body and they are blaming him. And then he said he's so powerless and he wants God to help him. Those were the lines in the song. Moving on, we saw where he also came out to say he dislikes Mohbad's wife. This is Mohbad's father talking. He said he dislikes Mohbad's wife, Wumi, with passion. Then he said she and her family have inherited every single thing that Mohbad had, money and property. Wumi usually lists food. So in his word, he said Wumi usually lists Mohbad's food with sleeping pills, and then she went to sleep with various men, including Mohbad's flatmate and label mate. These are conversations from Mohbad's father. Moving on, we saw Naira Marley's sister talking about Shubomi coming out to say the EFCC should release our brother. And then she went on to say, keeping someone who willingly traveled back to help in detention for nearly 30 days with no charge, no evidence, no sufficient witness is a violation of his human rights. Keeping him in custody to appease social media and the internet mob is crazy. If you have evidence against him for anything he's been accused of, charge him. But if you don't, release him. It shouldn't take this long for investigation to be done. We all want the truth. We all want justice. What is the delay? We have already lost one person. Trying to lynch another is not going to bring about justice. Then she went on to say, I pray nobody is being accused of an atrocity you have no hand in. God is in control. And also, lastly, we saw Bella Shmurda performing in Mohbad's popular singlet. Now, Mohbad performs most of the time in the black singlet, and then we saw Bella Shmurda lately. He was seen performing in the exact singlet of Mohbad, and obviously wearing his pendant, which has a Mohbad picture on it. Rest in peace to the General Mohbad. Moving on, we have WIZKID as the next and last guy on the news. We saw over the weekend, WIZKID, Wande and P Prime were seen working on a new music together. What is WIZKID cooking at this point? Because we all know that WIZKID has been out for a while and all of that. Is he going to come back with a new song? Let's see what the coming days look like for WIZKID. Moving on, we saw WIZKID son was 6 years old over the weekend, and WIZKID said, Big Six rather. Thank God, truly blessed to be on this journey of life with you, to his son. Moving on, we saw where WIZKID was telling Zion where he got the cake for him, and he was saying, Zion, blow this cake with your full chest. WIZKID is an epitome of greatness, so whatever he does obviously makes the news. We saw WIZKID and Odumodu linking up at the Rufus and B over the weekend, an amazing one. The old guys over there were crowded screaming, WIZKID, 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 Odumo. It was an amazing one, though there were talks about Odumodu looking like a bouncer, but at the same time, WIZKID will make anybody look like whoever he want the person to be. Over the weekend, at the same time, WIZKID had an eventful weekend. We also saw where he stopped by Tony Elumelu's apartment to maybe say thank you for coming for my mom's burial, and then he went there with a big bouquet of flowers, presenting it to Tony's wife. An amazing moment. WIZKID was there, had fun with the kids, play with the family, and it just shows that this guy has a good link up with billionaires and obviously Tony Elumelu. And then 3 years ago, we saw WIZKID drop a masterpiece which he called Made in Lagos album. And currently, or as for the last 3 years, that album has done good for himself. Charts in terms of charts, toppings, and Grammy nominations. We saw Made in Lagos spanning its song like Essence, Ginger, Blessed, and No Stress. It also became the first Afrobeats album to be certified gold in the US, and at the same time, it also was certified gold in Belgium, Canada, Netherlands, Switzerland, and the UK. I think that's safe to say Made in Lagos was, and not just was, but really is a successful album, because one of the best so far that Afrobeats has produced. Anyways, guys, we've come to the end of this one, and trust me, we'll catch you guys on the very, 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 very next one. Stay safe, guys. Gist are still coming in. Davido is going to make the news on this, and I promise you, what has it done? I'll bring them to you in